米大リーグの各球団首脳が集まるウィンターミーティングが、日本時間5日に米テネシー州ナッシュビルで開幕し、エンゼルスからフリーエージェントとなった大谷翔平の新天地への注目が高まっています。大谷の移籍先としてロサンゼルスドジャースが最有力とされていますが、シカゴカブスやサンフランシスコジャイアンツ、トロントブルージェイズ、ロサンゼルスエンジェルスなど、大谷をめぐっては様々なチームへの移籍の噂が報じられています。12月4日には、専門放送局、MLB ネットワークのジョン・モロシ記者が、
大谷の争奪戦で我々が十分に注目していないチームが一つある。それはアトランタ・ブレーブスだ。
と語り、最近ではブレーブスの名前が米メディアを賑わせています。そんな中、大谷マニアとして知られる米専門局、FOX スポーツのアナリスト、ベン・バーランダー氏が自身のポッドキャスト番組で、
ブレーブスがまだ新天地候補として残っている。
と伝え、今季ナリーグを席巻した強打線に大谷が加わった予想オーダーを公開。ブレーブスの大谷獲得に伴うメリットとデメリットについても議論していましたので、日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
The Atlanta Braves are still a player in the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes. And we have the potential lineup in the board here. If you're watching and not just listening, obviously it's unbelievable and it's extremely deep and incredible. Yes. So the Braves are still players here. Even as of Monday, we saw the news that, yes, the Braves are still involved. So to me, Alex, the big glaring pro is that they have the biggest World Series window, I think, of anybody. I mean, you could pitch me the Baltimore Orioles, and I would be like, okay, I could see that, but they're not there yet.
Yeah.
The Braves are there. They're here. Their World Series window is open. It started a couple of years ago, and it's going to go for a long time. Why? Well, another pro being most of this lineup that we see on the wall here,
young.
Acuna, Austin Riley, Matt Olson, Albies, Sean Murphy, Michael Harris, they're all signed up and locked up for years and years. This lineup is not going anywhere. So that's obviously a really big pro. Another one would be the pitching for the Braves. This coming season, your pitching's in fine shape.
Yeah.
Well, guess who's not going to be able to pitch next year?
Ohtani.
Shohei. Guess who will be able to pitch in 2025? Ohtani. So that's when the Braves pitching rotation gets a few more question marks. It's 2025, not 2024. They'll be fine next year. 2025, more question marks. Well, what better way to answer that question than with a guy like Shohei Ohtani who will be able to pitch in 2025? So the pros to me are obvious and a very, I would say this scenario, it wouldn't shock me if it happens.
Yeah, okay, so pros are obvious with the Braves, right? It works well right now, and then it works well once he's back to full health and is able to pitch again.
Short-term, long-term.
Short-term, long-term. What is the con here for the Braves?
Well, the big con for me, I think, is, I talked about this lineup and how long they have everybody locked up for. And everybody knows the Braves way, right? You have all these superstars on
small
big contracts that really aren't a ton of money, and you look at it and say, wow, that's a crazy deal. But they have so many of them that are really, it's great for the team's future, but I don't think they are able to offer Shohei the biggest contract possible because of all those deals they do have. They don't have that much room under the cap space. They don't have, I don't think, that much money available to go and give $500 million or more to Shohei Ohtani.
また、元阪神で今季途中からブレーブスに所属する救援右腕、ギアース・ジョンソンが、米専門ラジオ局、MLB ネットワークラジオの番組に出演し、去就が注目される大谷にラブコールを送っていましたので、そちらも日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
Ohtani, man, if you want to come to Atlanta and be a part of a successful team and organization, have a chance to win every single year and have fun while doing it, Atlanta is the place for you. Keep working on my Japanese so I can talk to you and crack jokes, and we can go get all the sushi you want.
Could you imagine what that would look like if the Atlanta Braves added offensively Shohei Ohtani?
I mean, 1 through 9 was a threat to go deep. You had him in the lineup. I mean, that would be absolutely incredible. Talk about historic year last year. I want to see how many home runs we hit this year.
ブレーブスには今季ナ・リーグ MVP に輝いたロナルド・アクーニャ・ジュニアや本塁打王のマット・オルソンが所属しており、大谷が加入となれば銀河系打線形成となります。 ジョンソンも、
もし彼が打線に加わったらとてつもないことだ。
とコメントしており、米スポーツ専門局、FOX スポーツが MLB 専門の X アカウントで公開したブレーブスの予想ラインアップは、大谷を3番 DH に置き、1番には史上初の40発70盗塁を達成し、ナ・リーグの MVP に輝いたロナルド・アクーニャ・ジュニアが座り、2番2塁で今季33本塁打のオジー・アルビーズを起用し、4番1塁に54発139打点で2冠に輝いたマット・ウォルソンを並べています。大谷が加入すれば、3、4番に今季両リーグの本塁打キングが並ぶ夢のような打線となっています。この最強オーダーをどう思うという問いかけに世界中のファンからは、
えげつない打線になるな。漫画だよ漫画。ブレーブスって強固というか猛牛をイメージさせる球団だわ。ほんと強いよね。漫画で言うなら主人公が決勝で対戦する最強チームっていう感じ。
ドジャースの大谷誕生間近と思っていたけど、このブレーブスの夢の打線もめちゃくちゃ見てみたい。どんなチーム打撃成績になるのか興味あるな。
一つのチームに両リーグの満票 MVP と両リーグのホームラン王が集まるなんてすごすぎるな。
などの声が聞かれていました。また、MLB 専門放送局、MLB ネットワークの番組、MLB ハイヒートでは、ジョン・ヘイマン氏がドジャース移籍の可能性について答えてくれていましたので、日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
John Heyman, New York Post columnist for baseball, as well as MLB Network insider, joining us now from his home in Florida before heading to the winter meetings in Nashville. John, thanks for taking the time. Now, Jeff Passan of ESPN said there's really 4 teams still in the mix for Shohei Ohtani. Of course, you have the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Blue Jays, and the Angels. What is your take on where he lands at this point in the offseason?
Yeah, I know I'll add the Giants. I think there are 5 teams that really have a legitimate chance. I don't like to eliminate anyone just because I don't like to be wrong, but I'm going to stick with the Dodgers as the favorite. We had them as the favorite a year ago, and I understand what you guys are saying. It isn't the perfect fit right now because they do need pitching now, but let's not forget, he is still a pitcher, and a year from now, or maybe a year and a half from now, he is going to be back pitching, and we expect he'll be a great pitcher. He is a historic figure. They've had Jackie Robinson, they've had Sandy Koufax, they've had other historic figures, and I think they just love the idea of adding Shohei Ohtani. One reason I do think they are a fit, I don't think he's all about the money, and I don't think they are the ones who are likely to give the biggest offer, as they didn't in several other cases where they still came up with a player. They do a good job with that. And, I just think that consistent winner, Southern California, I'm going to say they're the favorite. Cubs are clearly in. I believe the Giants are still in. The Jays are obviously in as well. We've got 5 teams in right now, as far as I can tell. Angels, of course.
Well, Los Angeles Dodgers.
Not going to forget the Angels. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. The Dodgers don't need him, John, but I can understand anywhere he goes, he's going to make that team better. So the Dodgers, to me, are not under the most pressure. In your opinion, what team is under the most pressure this offseason to make a splash and let that fan base know that they're in this to win it?
Well, I'm going to name 2 teams. I think the Red Sox and the Giants. The Red Sox have finished last 3 out of 4 years. Obviously, in this century, they've won more World Series than anybody, even more than Chris Russo's Giants. They've won 4 World Series, but they have not been good lately. They're not used to being in last place. They clearly have a new leader in Craig Breslow. I think they are in big on a lot of big players, so they need to do something. And the Giants, who I still say are one of the probably 5 favorites for Ohtani, need to overcome that hurdle of the ballpark. I think that's a tough park for left-handed sluggers. Oracle Park is, but Giants need to do something. Obviously, a couple of years ago, they won 107 games, upset the Dodgers to win that division for the first time. Last 2 years, a little bit disappointing. They've tried for big stars. We know about Stanton, Harper, Judge. The list goes on and on. They have not been able to land those big stars, and I think they are out to get some big stars. If it's not Ohtani, obviously, they'll be in there for Yamamoto and some of the others, perhaps Bellinger, Chapman. They're in on a lot of these guys.
これからも大谷の活躍から目が離せません。皆様からのコメントもお待ちしております。